Good morning, guys. I have another little cheat sheet with me, so if you see me looking down, that's why. Um, First off, oh Lord, my hair. Sorry, I did not sleep good last night, so I look rough, as I have been this whole entire journey. But first off, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Not how we wanted to spend Father's Day, obviously, but it is what it is. Doc has Doc has gotten so much better, you guys. Like, I can't even begin to describe to you everything that's gotten so much better. I know the other day I was putting up small Instagram videos that went on Facebook saying he had a nosebleed. So they ended up calling an ENT in. The ENT packed his nose. He didn't think it was a tear or anything. He just said, for anybody that's on blood thinners, the blood is so thin, it's just going to try and find a way out. So anything that's irritated, it's just easy for the blood to come out. So I know this is a little bit graphic, but he was bleeding from his nose, bleeding from his mouth, his chest tube, he ended up starting to bleed from it as well. Or the incision around the chest tube, not the actual tube itself. But they lowered his blood thinner heparin down as low as they could go with him being on the ECMO machine, and that seemed to pretty well not completely stop it, but for the most part, just a small little trickle. So that's the main thing is, getting that bleeding under control. There was something else I wanted to say before I got into my notes. Oh, his lungs. His lungs are looking so much better, you guys. Like on the x-rays, when he first come in, like his left side was a little bit white, which indicates fluid. So if you, on an x-ray, just to explain it, on an x-ray, if it's white, it's fluid. If it's black, then it's air. So, obviously his right lung was compromised. So it was not completely whited out, but like the bottom half of it was whited out, leaving the top part just full of air. And then his left lung, when he started getting that infection, his left lung, they went through yesterday and actually showed each day he's been getting an x-ray and showed us the progression every day, and his whole entire lung, top to bottom, eventually got whited out. So it was full of infection and fluid and everything. So that's when he eventually got put on ECMO. But yesterday, they both looked amazing. Like, there was a little bit of whiteout still on both sides, but not very much. The doctors are super, super happy with that. The infectious disease doctor came over yesterday, and she's been the last couple of days saying they're still running a couple of swabs every day, or samples, to make sure that he doesn't have another infection. He has been clear of infection since that first time that they found it, so no new infection. He's been on vancomycin for his infection, which has worked wonders. They just have to space the vancomycin out longer because his kidneys aren't filtering like they should. So the vancomycin is actually staying in his system longer than it normally does. So it's been a long road, but we can finally start to really see the good coming out of it, because he's getting better. We can see it. He is on a paralysis medicine. They have bumped that down so he can kind of wiggle around just a hair. And like if they're doing something to him, changing out his nose packing or anything like that, he'll kind of, wiggle around. It's been hard. Not gonna lie. Very hard. But we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. He is getting better. They're still running the slow flow dialysis through the ECMO machine just because his kidneys are so sick. The doctor last night explained it as our bodies, when it gets that sick, it's going to take blood from other places to try and save the most important part, which is our brain, our heart, and our lungs. So basically, when his lungs got so sick, his body took blood away from his kidneys to start helping heal his lungs. So basically, his kidneys, he's still making urine, but it's not good urine as far as him filtering things out and everything. So that's why he's still on slow flow dialysis. It's just to help filter everything out while his kidneys recover. Yesterday they did a 4-hour trial on the ECMO machine, which basically means the blood is still flowing through the cannula in his neck off the ECMO machine. But they turned the oxygen off that has been running, that's been pumping into the blood. They did a 4-hour trial of that to see if he could handle just being on the ventilator and breathing on his own. And they said he did awesome. So our ECMO guy, John, yesterday said that he thinks he's ready to come off of ECMO. So I think they're going to do another trial run, maybe longer today. And then crossing our fingers, we're coming off ECMO tomorrow completely. And that entails, like they wouldn't do it this weekend because he has to go down to the OR for surgery to get that cannula out of his neck. So, they said that they're not going to call in a whole OR team on the weekend unless they absolutely have to. So they're probably going to wait for tomorrow. But from our understanding is tomorrow, if they agree that he can come off ECMO, well, first off, they also need to decide if he needs to be on dialysis more. So if he can come off ECMO and need dialysis more, it would be going to the OR to get the cannula out of his neck. I think they would be taking the PICC line out of his leg too. I'm not 100% certain. I can't remember. And if he chest tube out tomorrow too, because they wanted to wait to get him off blood thinners before he would take the chest tube out. There we go, sorry. And if he needed dialysis, they would put in a dialysis cannula in his left thigh, because they said that they could do it up here, but they want to leave this space open to be able to put his port in. And the thought is as well, when he goes in, they would put the port in as well. So it would be ECMO, cannula out, chest tube out, maybe PICC line, I think, because I don't think they're really doing anything with the PICC line anymore. If he needs dialysis, a dialysis cannula in and then port in. So good news, good news, good news. So we're getting there slowly but surely. Bradley did make the decision to my husband to go back to work tomorrow. He's been off basically this whole 2 weeks that Doc's been in the hospital, because today marks 2 weeks that Doc's been in the hospital. And I know he needs to go back to work, but I don't want him to, in a way. I don't want to be sitting at the hospital by myself anymore. You know, those first couple of days where I was sitting there by myself, I was just so scared, and just my emotions were on high, and I'm afraid that I'm going to get like that again. Like, he's my rock, keeping me sane. But, anyways, John, our ECMO guy, we absolutely love him. We are so sad because yesterday was our last day with him. He's supposed to be off today, and then he said he'd be around to check on us and everything, but it's not going to be the same, because when you're on ECMO, you have to have a person sitting there 24 hours a day watching that machine, making sure nothing goes wrong, it doesn't get a clot or anything like that. Oh, as well, he would be coming off of his blood thinners, and then in 6 to 8 hours, or depending on how long it takes him to filter out the blood thinner, it's when they would be doing the surgery. So if he came off of his blood thinner tomorrow morning, you know, say around 6, it would be 6 to 8 hours or so before he could go to the OR to get all that done. But like I said, John has been amazing. Like, he is, I teased him, I said, you actually talk to us in English, not medical terms way up here over our heads. You know, you actually take the time. He actually took the time to explain to us what was going on, how it worked. And guys, I wish I could video that, but they don't let you video it, and you can take pictures, but I'm not that tech savvy on putting pictures in and everything. Haven't got there yet on YouTube, but just this little bitty stick of a machine is so amazing on how it works. But he did throw us for a loop. He said the ECMO machine costs between $20,000 to $25,000. Yes, $1,000 a day to run. And all we can say is thank God for good insurance. We've got good insurance. We haven't received anything on Cigna yet or anything like that for our insurance, telling us how much we're gonna have to pay for this. But yeah, that floored us a lot. That set us back a lot. But John also told us that Doc was a couple of their firsts on the ECMO machine. And I'm going to be reading this off my notes, so I'm looking down, showing my double chin again. But he's the first at Erlanger to have ECMO and chemo running at the same time. He's the first at Erlanger for the instant x-ray and ECMO machine, which the reason I call it instant, they called it something else, but we can't remember, is that little portable x-ray machine that they can bring around, you know, put it underneath you, and then take the image and it be on their little screen on their portable x-ray machine. So that's what I mean by that. And he is also the first at Erlanger to have dialysis while on ECMO. So basically, Doc in a way was their guinea pig. But John said, you know, this Doc has done so great on it. It allows them to see what they can stretch now, what else that they can do with this ECMO machine. And so actually, with Doc being a little guinea pig, and I mean that in a good way, but with him doing this, or them doing this, can later on down the road help someone else if they need it. They're going to say, well, yes, we can do this. This is how you do it, and stuff like that, which is amazing. I think with the dialysis, I think it was the dialysis, they had to call Birmingham Hospital because they had done it before, but Erlanger had not. And it's just amazing what our technology has come such a long way. Yes, it's expensive, but that ECMO machine is what was keeping our son alive at the time when he was so sick. And it's just, I'm so grateful for these doctors and nurses and people that make these machines. These doctors and nurses go to school for years and years and years. And, this is their passion. This is what they want to do. And I'm so grateful for everyone down at Erlanger. From our social workers just to the people who, right now we have to wear masks. They check our temperature every time we walk in the morning. We get this little colored wristband every morning. We get a badge every morning, showing our picture and where we're going. And just everyone at that hospital has been so amazing. Asking us how our day is, if we need anything, offering to bring us coffee, although we don't drink coffee, but, water, snacks. It's just overwhelming because you go in expecting, to be treated like a patient. But we've also gotten to know these doctors and know these people, and like they're starting to feel like family in a way. And it's just amazing, that they actually sit and take the time to sit with you and explain things to you and answer every question that you have, no matter, like my husband, like he was thinking the other day, and the doctors were getting a kick out of him. Like he was thinking like 3 or 4 days down the road, and they're like, hang on, I'll answer it, but we need to think about today. I don't know what he's doing. I hear him rumbling around in the background. We're here at the house getting stuff, but it's just amazing. Once again, guys, if you want to help, we've got GoFundMe, we've got Venmo. With Bradley going back to work, gas cards will be so helpful. Especially getting him to and from work. Or donating blood or plasma. Doc is O positive, but if you're not, you can still go donate it in his honor. And the way I understand, I could be wrong, but the way I understand is if you donate in his honor, that will give him a credit for a bag of blood. I don't know about platelets, but it would give him a credit. So, like, the way I understand, could be wrong, don't give me, so don't take my word for the gold, but the way I understand it is, he would get a credit, so we wouldn't have to pay for it. So, I don't know if that's true, but once again, guys, thank y'all so much. It's been tough, but we're going to get through it. And once he gets better, I'll try and get better about posting or a little bit better, looking wise and everything like that. I'll try and get better about posting more pictures of him again. I just don't want everyone to see him right now, with his nose bleeding and everything like that. They can't really clean him up, but crossing our fingers, if he gets all that surgery done tomorrow, I'll probably post another update. So just keep a watch out, guys, and keep on praying. That's the only things we can do.